1. How do you get a waiter's attention? Do you wave or call them? Well, in Myanmar, they kiss, but not in the way you're thinking. They simply make a kissing sound with their lips, kind of when you're calling out to a cat. It might seem strange to outsiders, but don't worry, it's completely normal here, and even men use it to call out to each other. 2. Here's a fact about the Moken. They are known as Myanmar's sea gypsies. These incredible people spend 3 months each year living on their boats along the Tanintharyi coast. Experts in handling deadly sea creatures, they survive by fishing and gathering sea life, making their lifestyle both fascinating and adventurous. 3. Speaking of fishing, let's talk about Myanmar's Irrawaddy dolphins. These aren't your regular dolphins. They are actually the only ones known to team up with humans to herd fish into nets. With only about 70 left in Myanmar's Irrawaddy River, they're a rare treasure worth celebrating. Who wouldn't want to hug these special dolphins? 4. If you see red stains on people's mouths and streets in Myanmar, fear not. It's not blood, it's betel. In Myanmar, chewing betel leaves is common, especially in rural areas and among older people. Betel leaves coated with quicklime and wrapped around a raisin nut, tobacco, and bitter bark create a stimulant like coffee or alcohol. It's said to freshen your breath, but be warned, it's quite strong. 5. Ever seen women with seemingly long necks? In Myanmar, Kayan women wear brass coils that give the illusion of neck elongation. In reality, the coils push down the collarbone and compress the ribcage. It's not just about beauty, it's a deeply rooted symbol of cultural identity. 6. How often do you see men in skirts? Well, Burmese men wear the Longyi, a cylindrical wrap-around cloth, every day for any occasion. It's really their go-to outfit even at international meetings, and the skirt is held together by a simple knot at the waist. For sports, they roll it up like shorts for ease and comfort. 7. So, Burma or Myanmar? Well, it's both. Burma comes from the British colonial times and reflects the Bamar ethnic majority. In 1989, the country officially became Myanmar. However, not everyone adopted the change, causing confusion about the dual name. But both names are still used today. 8. Speaking of colonial times, did you know Japan also invaded Myanmar? After Britain colonized Myanmar in 1824, Japan invaded in 1942 during World War II, aiming to cut off the Burma Road, a key supply route to China. Japan occupied the country until 1945, and Myanmar gained independence from Britain in 1948. 9. Did you know Myanmar was home to some of the earliest Southeast Asian civilizations? In the 9th century, the Burmans arrived in the Irrawaddy Valley, and by the 1050s, the Pagan Empire helped establish Burmese culture and language. During this time, Theravada Buddhism also became the country's main religion. 10. Bagan, one of the top destinations for breathtaking ancient structures, is the center of Theravada Buddhism. In the 12th century, Bagan was a flourishing kingdom that built over 2,000 temples and pagodas, many of which still stand today. 11. Yes, Myanmar is known for its incredible temples, but one that stands out most is the majestic Shwedagon Pagoda. Covered in over 40 tons of gold, it's a sacred Buddhist site believed to be 2,600 years old. You'll find diamonds, rubies, and gold radiating from its shining exterior. 12. Speaking of rubies, Burmese rubies are considered the finest in the world. They're known for their rich, pigeon blood red color. In fact, the most famous of them is the Graf ruby, which was sold for almost $9 million in 2015. 13. One thing about Myanmar, it's home to one of the best teas in the world. But that's not even the fun part. Over there, tea isn't just for sipping, it's for snacking too. The Burmese national delicacy, Laphet, is a fermented tea leaf salad mixed with chili, garlic, and peanuts. It's usually served at parties or used as an offering. 14. In Myanmar, it's traditional for men to join a monastery twice. First as a samanera, a novice monk, between ages 10 and 20, and later as a Longyi, a fully ordained monk, around age 20. Some stay for just a few days, while others remain monks for life. 15. Yangon, formerly Rangoon, is Myanmar's largest city and a top spot for tourists. Though Naypyidaw took its spot as the capital, Yangon remains the country's biggest commercial stop. But here's a fun fact about the new capital. It was actually created in secret by the government. 16. Did you know Myanmar is so big it borders 5 countries? It's the largest country in mainland Southeast Asia and ranks 39th in the world. Myanmar shares borders with Thailand, Laos, China, India, and Bangladesh. Plus, it has a beautiful coastline along the Andaman Sea and the Bay of Bengal. 17. This is more of a scary fact than fun. Myanmar is 4 years into a civil war that shows no sign of ending. After an October 2023 offensive in Shan State, the military junta, known as the State Administrative Council, has lost control of key areas along the China border. What do you think about this war? And do you think a resolution might be reached soon? 18. Unlike in many cultures, Burmese names aren't based on family surnames. Instead, they're influenced by astrological meanings tied to their birth date. Names are made with specific syllables, and family members often don't share a common surname. When applying for formal documents abroad, Burmese use the final syllable of their name as their last name. 19. If you ever forget your sunscreen while visiting Myanmar, do not. You'll come across people with a yellow paste on their face called Thanaka. And guess what? It's a 2,000-year-old skincare secret. Derived from the Thanaka tree, it cools the skin and protects from the sun. 20. Taung Kalat, a Buddhist monastery perched 737 meters above sea level, sits on a volcanic plug near Mount Papa, a 1,518-meter volcano. Volcanic plugs form when magma solidifies in a volcano's vent. Today, both Mount Popa and Taung Kalat are sacred sites, home to 37 spirits. 21. Ever wondered where you can find over 8,000 Buddha statues all in one place? The Shwe Natural Cave Pagoda in Pindaya is home to 8,094 statues, and the collection keeps growing with donations from Buddhist groups worldwide. 22. Did you know that Myanmar is home to around 135 ethnic groups, including many unique hill tribes? The government officially recognizes 8 major ethnic races, each with its own state, except for the Bamar. The Moken nomads live in Myanmar but aren't listed, and the Rohingya, a predominantly Muslim community, have been denied citizenship for over 40 years. 23. You haven't had real cigars if you haven't had Myanmar's Cheroots. Unlike Western cigars, Burmese Cheroots aren't made from tobacco, but from the Laphet leaves or corn husks in some villages. They come in various sizes, from cigarette-sized to massive foot-long sticks, and are often sweetened with honey for flavor. 24. Boxing in Myanmar is not for the faint-hearted. Here, the winner isn't the first to make the other tap out, but the first boxer who draws blood, making it an intense and brutal sport to watch. But hey, if that's your thing, consider visiting the city for a show. 25. Ever seen those stunning photos of leg rowers on Inle Lake and wonder if they're staged? Turns out they're actually real. The Intha people, who live in floating gardens and fish for a living, use incredible skill to row with one leg while balancing on the other. It's a must-see art form, definitely worth witnessing firsthand on your next Myanmar trip. 26. In Myanmar, you'll often see people, especially women, carrying food, baskets, and even shopping on their heads. It's a common and practical method of transporting goods that may surprise first-time visitors, but it's all part of the daily routine. 27. Myanmar's Thingyan, or Water Festival, celebrates the new year with an epic water fight. Thousands hit the streets armed with water guns and buckets, soaking each other in a joyful celebration of renewal. If you're visiting in April, Join the fun. 28. In Myanmar, the stars decide when you'll tie the knot. Couples consult astrologers to pick the perfect wedding date for good luck. It's believed the right date brings prosperity and happiness to the newlyweds. 29. Unlike its neighbors, Myanmar uses its own unique time zone, UTC plus 6 hours 30 minutes. So when traveling from nearby countries, remember to adjust your watch half an hour forward to be in sync with local time. 30. Just like its time zone, Myanmar's measurement system can be a bit confusing. While most countries use the metric or imperial systems, Myanmar sticks to its own traditional units. For example, a yan is 1.83 meters, and a kotha equals 1.28 kilometers. With so many unique units, you may consider carrying around a pocket scale while you're there. 31. In Myanmar, pregnant women don't attend funerals following traditional customs that are deeply rooted in Burmese beliefs. These practices are meant to protect the well-being of both mother and child. 32. Here's another cultural belief. Men avoid cutting their hair on Mondays, Fridays, or their birthdays to avoid bad luck. It's a cultural superstition, so consider adding more thought when scheduling a haircut over there. We hope you found these facts about Myanmar as interesting as we did. Which fact was your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun facts.